We've got our focus, we've got our research down. Now we're on our third day before we booked our interview. And now we are focusing on the delivery of what it is that we were going to be saying. This comes down to a couple things. It comes down to what we've been talking about earlier, just having a lot of conviction, that utter belief in the things that you're saying, body language, whether it's on video or in person. Let's pretend that this is a video interview now because we are in a more of a working remote environment, and tone. Okay, so conviction and tone are actually a little bit different. So I don't want you to muddle those ones up. When you are presenting, maybe you're presenting a challenge, maybe you're having a panel interview, or it's just with one person, conviction leads and breathes and becomes confidence. And so the more you think about, I need to go into this interview with a lot of confidence, the more nerve-wracked you will feel. Confidence is an incredibly difficult thing to achieve. I am confident that my dog is going to come back to me. That's a difficult thing to say because my dog is a dog, right? I don't know, there might be a squirrel over there. And so that changes a little bit. Do you have confidence? I have a lot of conviction and belief in what I'm saying to recall my dog. Come versus arrow come. That's not gonna get that dog coming back to me. And it's the same thing in an interview. I don't want you to lead with thinking that you have confidence, or I have to have confidence. I gotta get the confidence. I want you to lead with, okay, I have a lot of conviction in the research that I've done, the focus that I've created for myself, all of my why questions, because that is what you can control. And so this is going to feel a little bit better. Hopefully it's going to give you a bit of release and relief to feel that you don't have to be the most confident person going into an interview. But if you have that conviction, if you have done your research, if you have done the focus of answering those why questions, you will be able to speak with conviction, which then comes across as confidence because no one can question you that much if you sound like you are meaning it. Hi, my name's Marlin. I'm a clownfish.
My name is Marlin. I'm a clownfish.
Versus, hi, my name's Marlin. I'm a clownfish. Different. Practice this. Practice this delivery and what that might look like. Body language is another big one. I want you to try and use your hands as much as you can. I want you to use your facial features. I want you to smile. I want you to light up the space between you and your computer. That's a hard thing to do. I'm not going to lie. It takes a lot of effort. And sometimes, like myself, if you use too many hand gestures, it can become distracting. However, if you sit like this, you know, and you kind of look down and you're nervous and maybe you're going like this, you're shaking a little, or you know, you're bouncing your leg, or you're leaning this way, they're going to notice, and it's not going to come across as engaging or engaged. Okay, and so I want you to do your best to set up, open up your heart space, and almost like envelope the audience to you. So when they say, and this is again part of delivery, tell me about yourself. You know what? I actually have to start by asking you a question. When was the last time you went fishing? Have you ever fished before? But you see what happened there? I'm asking them a question, I'm engaging them, and I'm using my hands to bloom and set the stage for a story. Pretend, and a huge tip that I use is I'll put a sticky note like this, and I will draw a happy face like this, excellent. And I will put it up, right up here. So I'm looking directly at the camera. So it's almost like I'm talking to them and I'm enveloping them. Come here, or lean in, right? The more you can see something of focus to lean yourself in and to say, I'm really excited to tell you about this story. It's going to be incredibly, incredibly helpful, okay? So it's a difficult thing to achieve. I want you to first practice with a mirror. Again, you don't have to use a lot of hand gesticulations, but I want you to practice what that looks like, because you are immediately going to just sit like this. Yes, have you ever stepped into a river before? Well, I want to tell you a little bit about who I am based on that. And there's not a lot of movement. There's not a lot of you know, you're not being really dynamic when you do that versus, I actually have to start by asking you a question. Have you ever stepped in front of or in the middle of a river? Have you ever fished before? And then you can begin your About Me, and it looks more engaging. That's it, really. The most that you can do, again, is working on your tone to capture that conviction, looking into the camera, put a little happy face beside it to focus on your delivery, and really sit up and ensure that you are feeling like you've got these answers, you've got your research, and you've prepared long enough because you've set that interview maybe a few days out.